my name is Misty. Welcome to an update. This update is just going to be about my health crap, so if you're not interested in any of that, then feel free to click out. For those of you who may be new, hello, I have myasthenia gravis, rheumatoid arthritis, OPLL in my back, which causes my ligaments in my spine to calcify. I have spinal stenosis, which is narrowing, and I have type 2 diabetes. The last 3 weeks has been full on medical hell. So, yeah, I thought I would give you an update. I was thinking about waiting until next week when I get the results of my echocardiogram, but I figure I can update you guys again after Thanksgiving and see how things go. So, I hope you guys are doing well. I look like garbage. I feel like garbage, and we'll get to that. So, let's start at the end of October. What was the date? Let's look at some dates here. Okay, so from the 26th to the 11th, I had 8 doctor's appointments, and I was supposed to have 2 different kinds of infusions. So let's start on the 26th. The 26th of October, I went and saw the cardiologist for this new cardiologist for the first time in like 15 years or so. So for those of you who don't know, I took Fen-Phen in 1996, so 25 years ago. I was a senior in high school, and I had enough damage to get a little $2,000 check in the class action lawsuit. So, and the reason why I wanted to go see a cardiologist is because the Ozempic that my doctor and my endo put me on, it makes me feel the exact same way I felt like I took with Fen-Phen. So it's mainly the artificial fullness, and the cardiologist was like, tell me what you mean by that. I said, I can remember it like it was yesterday, and it was 25 years ago, but the first day I took Fen-Phen, we'd gone to a Chinese buffet in our hometown. We'd never been. It was the very first time to go. And I was able to eat a little piece of chicken, like you would get for sweet and sour chicken. And I was able to eat 1 piece of broccoli. That's it. I felt overly full. And that's what I mean by artificial fullness. It's like, it's clearly not that I've eaten too much and I'm full, or I've eaten and I'm full. It's, I already feel full. So went and checked it out. I had my echocardiogram last Wednesday. The EKG was fine. He did an echo. She had a really hard time with the echo because of my boobs. So I don't know if I'm going to have to go back and do it. They did release my report, but, and it did say some things, but I'm going to wait until I talk to him on the 23rd before I lose my shit. So that was October 26th. On the 28th, I saw my endocrinologist and I saw my pain management doctor. For the endocrinologist, she was ecstatic. When I saw her in July, she's new, my A1C was 11.6 and it's 8.5. Well, it was 8.5 when I saw her at the end of October. So that was a huge, huge decrease, and she was ecstatic. I was happy. I did mention to her that I felt like this dose wasn't quite high enough on the Ozempic because my blood sugars have been hovering between like 150, 160, even with me eating very low carb, 1 meal a day, you know, all those kinds of things. So she switched me to Wegovy, Wegovy. So Wegovy is another brand of the medication, whatever Ozempic is. Wegovy is a different brand. It's at a higher dose. Right now I'm on 1.7, then I'll bump up to 2.4. It is basically the same thing as Ozempic. It's just under a different name because it's marketed as a weight loss drug rather than a drug to treat diabetes. And she did that because she said Ozempic is going to have a dosage increase. She's just not sure when. So I started that on the 30th. No, I started it on the 6th because my last dose will be the 27th, and then I'll bump up to the new dose. So far I haven't really felt any effects from it. Yeah, more to come later. I am, like I said, I am interested to see what it says on the echocardiogram and, you know, talk to him and see if it's a good idea for me to even be on this drug. So yeah, that's what happened endocrinologist. I go back and see her in 3 months or 6 months. And like I said, my A1C was 8.5 down from 11.6. So I think Ozempic is doing a pretty good job. It was funny because I saw a doctor every day last week, and every time I got on the scale, I was 2 pounds less. So it started like at 366 with clothes on, and then I got down to like 360 by the last day. So that was the endocrinologist. That afternoon, I saw my pain management doctor. I have to have one more facet injection in my neck before we can do the rhizotomy, and I need it on the right side. So I was like, I have too much going on right now. I'll do it after the first of the year. My patches are helping in that area, but it is definitely something that I want to pursue next year. But I've had all of these infusions, and it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So the following week, the week of the 1st, the 2nd through the 5th, I had my IVIG loading dose. So IG is immunoglobulin, I think. Listen, I called my Wegovy Wagyu beef. I can't remember all these drug names. Excuse me. So the first day, the nurse was here and he couldn't get a vein. It took 3 different sticks to get a vein. We finally had to go in my elbow. So the first day was a good 6 hours or so of the IVIG. The dosage is super, super slow. And we did 30 minutes of hydration before with saline and 30 minutes of hydration after with saline. And what's crazy is he couldn't find a vein. And that morning I'd probably had 5, 6 32-ounce tumblers full of water. I mean, I was drinking water like a fish for 3 days just so my veins would be hydrated, but unfortunately he couldn't get one. So the IV held for the first 2 days, but on the 3rd day I had to get a new IV. And she actually had me put my hand with a heating pad. She said wet heat, like damp heat, moist heat, damp heat, wet heat, whatever you want to call it. She said that tends to work better. But she worked in pediatrics as an IV therapist, and she said the way to get veins on babies would be to, get heat, and that would help. And she did. I mean, as you could still kind of see where she poked me, went in, no pain, nothing. My vein popped up real good. So, but all 3 of them said that I'm going to need a port. If they were like, if this is something you're going to do going forward, you're going to need a port. They said at some point your veins are going to fail and they're not going to be able to stick you. She's like, it's just the nature of the beast. And I was like, okay. So on day 4, in day 3, I got a headache. A headache woke me up, and headaches are a side effect. So, I mean, it was probably one of the worst migraines I've had in a hot minute. It literally woke me up, and it was like right here, just right here. It was awful. So I ended up taking a dose of Benadryl, and I drank a Coke, and I ended up sleeping for like 3 or 4 hours, and that, when I woke up, it was basically gone. So thank goodness. Excuse me, on the 4th day, I went ahead and took Benadryl and just slept through most of it. We did it here at home. We did it in my bedroom. But that nurse, she mentioned that I should talk to my doctor about either a port, or she said there's a way that I could do it subcutaneously, which just means under the skin, like giving myself a shot. I was like, heck yeah, I would much rather do that than flip around with IV every month, because I have to do two days, back-to-back days every month of this IVIG going forward. So on Monday, I went and saw a hematologist. You guys know I've been talking about how my iron has been really high, my red blood count has been up and down. So she's like, you're probably one of the only people that I've walked into the office and have been able to give good news to. She's like 100% this elevated iron is a direct result of the inflammation in your body. She said that's exactly what it is. She's like, you don't have hemochromatosis. You'll be fine. She's like, it's just elevated because of the inflammation. And I said, okay. And then she said, but she's like, your white blood count has dropped dramatically. Because I took all of my blood work from the last year. She said, your average is between 10,000 and 11,000, which is about normal, but it's like 2,000 or 2,300. It's something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I can tell. I can tell. I have felt like literal garbage since having that infusion. You can't tell the first month if it's helped. All of them told me that, but the low white blood count, there's a list of symptoms that you feel that way, and it's like, yep, check them all off, because I exactly feel that way. It's like you feel like you have a hard time breathing, you're really lethargic and tired, and it's just like I have all of those things. I'm dressed and up today only because I had to go check our breaks, and Rob took last week off because I had 5 appointments and I didn't want him to have to miss any more work. So I got up, showered, and went to Firestone, and then I had to go get blood drawn. So that was Monday. On Tuesday, I saw my neurologist Tuesday morning, and we talked about the subcutaneous, and she said, absolutely, I'm going to look into that. And she says every week instead of once a month, but she said it's kind of like an insulin pump. And I was like, as long as we don't I said, I don't mind poking myself. I don't mind. I took insulin for years, and I'm on a once a week injection now. I said, I don't mind giving myself a shot. I don't mind giving myself whatever I need to do, because I'd rather not have a port, because a port is maintenance. You have to make sure it doesn't get infected, all these other things. And I'm just not ready for that. just not ready for that. Mentally, physically, all of the things. I'm just not ready for that. So the other thing we talked about was the white blood count, and she said it should come back up. So she's ordered blood work for every 2 weeks for now. And the reason why is because since my white blood count is so low, I couldn't have my Symphony ARIA infusion at my RA's office on Wednesday. She couldn't do it because my blood count, and the neurologist was like, your blood count's way too low. She's like, the last thing we need to do is suppress your immune system even more when your blood count is so low. And I said, okay. So once I bounced back, if I bounce back, then I can go ahead and make the appointment and have that RA infusion. If I don't bounce back, if the numbers don't come back up, I believe there is some sort of medication that they can give me that will help. I know I have a subscriber on my Jolly Fat Elf channel who is going through cancer right now, cancer treatments, and she mentioned that they have to give her that after she's had chemo. So that is what's going on with that. She's also retiring. Her last day was supposed to be December 31st. It's actually going to be December 15th. And you guys, oh, I'm going to get emotional. Fuck. I almost cried in her office when she left because she's the one that diagnosed me. She's the one that found it after months and months and months of basically being told that it's all in my head. She's the one that finally found something, and she's the one that's been treating me for 5 years or 4 years. So it was really, really hard to say goodbye. And you guys know I already have issues with doctors as it is. So she and I talked about it, and she told me who she would like me to go with, and I said, I trust you implicitly. So the doctor I am supposed to see now is a little bit younger, but she is very much into researching and treating, and she's all about myasthenia. So my doctor thought that she would be a good replacement. So I said yes. But she said, I'm going to research subcutaneous and see what we can do with your insurance, etc. And then she's going to check. I have to have blood work probably every 2 weeks. So that was the neurologist on Tuesday. On Wednesday morning, I was supposed to have my infusion. Like I mentioned, we didn't have the infusion. Wednesday afternoon is when I had my echocardiogram. And like I said, that was a challenge. I'm surprised I'm not all bruised up as much as she had to push. And I told her, push as hard as you need to. It's like, I don't want to have to repeat this. Let's do it one time only. And then Thursday, the last appointment was my urologist, and thank God, he's like, okay, good, well, I can see you once a year. And I was like, praise Jesus. At least I get to see one doctor once a year. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So that was urologist. So I see my cardiologist on the 23rd to get the results of the echocardiogram. Like I said, I already have them. sorry, I have my ringer on because I tried to call my Dexcom supply company because they sent me a bill and I don't need a bill. And they're like, oh, your wait time is 8 minutes. And 30 minutes later, I was like, I can't wait on the phone any longer. So I'm waiting for them to call me back. So I apologize. Anyway, so I see the cardiologist on the 23rd. And then my nurse called me yesterday. And he's coming the 8th and the 9th of December for my next infusion. So that's kind of where we are right now as far as my health. I am tired. I'm so tired. It's just a tired that I can't even describe just how tired I am. And it's, like I said, it's not from physical exertion. It's not from anything other than just my blood work being wonky and my body getting used to everything that's happening to it. So it's been a challenge, and I didn't vlog the infusion because literally it was me lying in bed every day. I did manage to set up on the 3rd day in the living room, but my nurse was chatty Cathy and Rob was trying to work at the dining room table. So I was like, we're not going to do this again. We'll just do it in the bed and I'll just try to sleep all day. So yeah. It's, I don't know. I think I mentioned that I got an appointment with the Mayo Clinic. I am going to try to go again maybe next summer. The issue was they could only get me in like January, February. In January, we're starting our bathroom remodel. And then from February to June, Rob just can't take off because of his job. That's busy season. I think I've mentioned it before. He works between 70, 75, 80 hours a week, and he just cannot take off. Plus, it was in Minnesota in the winter. And I just don't think me and ice and snow is a good idea. So, plus, it's like we have to be there for at least 10 we have to plan for 10 business days. So that means either getting, a suite or Airbnb, plane tickets because we're not driving because we have to take Roxy, and you guys know we barely survived our last road trip with that cat. I will not put her through that ever again. It was awful for her and awful for us. So we'd have to fly. So it's like we're not financially in a spot where we can just drop $5,000 to go get tested. So I'm going to call back in April or May to see if we can do something. I think you get 6 months. So if I call April or May, hopefully I could get something late in the summer or early in the fall. I do still want to go through with that. Just because I've told every single one of them, I was like, we're missing something. We have to be missing something. There's no reason why my blood sugar should be this elevated when there's nothing that I'm intaking to cause it. No. I'm like, why? Why would he have you call me and I can't see him for a week? Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you so much. I don't remember what I was saying, you guys, but that was the cardiologist office. And why would you have a nurse call me who doesn't understand what the test results mean to give me test results when she doesn't understand it and I can't ask her questions? So we'll wait. But that's it, guys. It's just been rough. It's just been rough. And I am just trying to survive. Like literally just trying to put one foot in front of the other and just breathe and just hold on to, like, we're doing everything we can to make me feel better. And hopefully after the next infusion or the one going forward, I will finally start to get some relief with the myasthenia, and then we can get back to focusing on the RA and the diabetes. So that's really it. Yeah, that's really it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you. I don't know if I'll get to answer comments, but I appreciate all of you that leave them. Again, I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. I'm mentally exhausted because, 8 appointments in 3 weeks is kind of dumb. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, plus the infusion, plus the blood work, plus just all of it. I'm just over it. I'm really kind of over it. I'm ready for like this, like I just want to break. And my brother and my nephew may be able to come for Thanksgiving, and I am so excited. I haven't seen that little baby since July. I think it's been July, and I'm ready to get my hands on him. So he's trying to crawl. He's already starting to pull up. I'm like, he's getting too fast. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Love you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.